Hey everyone, this is Angela at Valley Girl Crafting, and I have a little thing to show you guys. I was thrilled when I found this on AliExpress. It is a mini paper shredder, and it's a cute little box. Bottom comes off, it's plastic. Little handle does fall off, fits on this little metal dowel. Just slides right on there. But anyways, the whole reason I bought this, and I want to say it was like $7 or $8. It is a very neat idea. And let me show you why I got this, because I hate spending money on quilling papers. So now I don't have to, because that cuts your paper the perfect size for quilling. Now the one I got was just an extra sheet of paper that I wanted to show. Camera doesn't zoom in, and that's the lowest it goes, so I have to hold it up towards you a little bit more, I guess. So I've got my little quilling tool. I've got my sheet of paper. And for those of you who haven't quilled before, there's a slot in the metal end that the paper fits in. You want to pull it all the way down to the very bottom. And you just want to start winding the paper. You want to try to keep it as in round as possible. You want to try to keep it just going on the same direction. You don't want it all over the place. You don't want it wonky. You want it smooth and just a perfect circle. Now once you get to the end of it, I just back mine up just a little bit to loosen it, and then you just pull it off, and you can take it at that point. You can really push in on both sides and make sure that it's completely flat. And then depending on how big or how small you want it, I do have a little pin board over there. You can put it in and it will make it just to a perfect size for you. I do tend to sometimes just set it down, let it unwind a little bit on its own, and then take just a little bit of glue, and you just want to put a little bit on the very end here. And then you hold it for just a second. Let that glue dry. You can use any type of glue. I mean, for this, I've even used Elmer's glue. This right here is the glitter arch glue. I kept losing the bottle, so I used washi tape and made it bright so I wouldn't lose it. And if I'm losing the bottle, Lord knows I will lose that little bitty pin. And for those of you who don't have it, this is a stainless steel pen, so it will not rust and it will not discolor. But now I have my cute little, whatever that little thing. I do really well till I get on the camera, and then I forget words. And I hope I'm not the only one that does that. But anyways, that just keeps me from being able to find both pieces. But anyway, now that this is dry, there's several different designs you can do. The most basic is to be able to do a flower and a basic flower petal. I always take the section that I just glued, and you just take it and squeeze down on one side. And I try to keep the piece that I just did right there on that side, because you're going to end up gluing that again. So that's going to double reinforce your glue so that it doesn't pop open. Okay, so you can do this as big, as small, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and complete a flower real quick. So we'll do 5 of these real quick. And these I'm just going to spin on here pretty quick. I'm not picking out the same color. The paper I had is striped. So, you know, once you get a little bit going on, you'll get a little faster at doing this. But the thing is, just try to keep it as even as possible. And you know, if you don't get it completely even all the way around, you're okay. Like I said, go back, squish it together, make sure everything is just even. Then lay it down. Whoops, try not to flip it. Let it open up a little bit. If it's a little too much, just pull it and tighten it up a little bit. Add your glue again. Roll it in. Wipe your glue off. You can just put your glue on the end of where your paper stopped, and that'll just reinforce it that much more. I'm going to go ahead and make my other 3. And if you're like me and you're about half blind, sometimes it does take a moment to find that slit in the quilling tool to get your paper in there. But like I said, just try to keep it on there and just twist it. Every now and again you can, you know, stop it. As long as you're twisting it tight, it's not going to pop off that tool. Take it off, push it together really good, let it unroll a little bit. Kind of try to keep them all close to the same. If you're doing a flower, that way you kind of get the same look out of each petal. Not all flowers are perfect, but I mean, you know, I like to have mine at least a little bit the same. And you can kind of, you know, work with them. You can loosen them up and tighten them up or whatever. That one's a little bigger, but you know what, it'll be fine. Quilling is not something that I try to be. That's a quick white sheet. I don't want to do that one. Let's take another color here. Try to do all different colors. But some of the quilling, I mean, I think some of it is like everything else. Some of your imperfections, but that's where the little tray comes in handy. You can put it in there. It will only allow it to expand so far, and it does give you more universal. Sorry about that, guys. I keep forgetting to kind of hold it up here to the camera so you can see. And then we're going to squeeze, make sure everything's flat. Let it go a little bit. I'm just going to kind of look at my others and see if I need to let it go any more. And add that little bit there. Hold it for just a second. Okay. So that is 4. Let's go with this maroon color here. It's nice and bold. That'll kind of stand out a little bit. And once you get it started, there are bigger crafting tools as far as the quilling. That does have a little bit of a bigger slot in the end. Like I said, you just keep turning. Squeeze it together and then let it unroll a little bit. And this is just, you know, the very basic shapes is your flowers. It's one of the easiest shapes you'll ever make. So we have our one petal, and I'm going to move this here and put paper up there. That That gets it a little bit closer for you so you can see it. So what we're going to do is find our seam again, and you just take one end and you just squeeze it together. Okay? And of course you want to squeeze it the tightest down at the very tip, so you want to get that shape out of it. It kind of looks like a little hot air balloon, a little flower petal. And we're going to do that with each one of them. Find the seam, squeeze real good at the very tip down here. And you just do this to all of them. I mean, the flower is this simple. Now there are more intricate flowers. This is the basic flower. You know, anybody that hasn't quilled before or has only quilled once or twice, if you haven't gotten this basic flower down yet, you're going to need to get this shape down before you get anything else down, okay? So we have these, and you may think, oh Lord, how are you going to make a flower out of that? Well, the thing is, you're going to take your glue, and we're just going to add a little bit of glue right there, okay? And then you're going to take one of your flower petals, and you are going to just make a heart out of it, okay? Just going to butt them up together and hold it for just a minute. And of course, when it dries, you'll get that. So then we go to our next shape. You can also make butterflies with this simple little technique too. Instead of going all the way around, you just do them two on each side, and then you just put two on this side and then mirror the other side and glue them right in the middle. You know, there you've got like a little peacock if you want to do like a peacock. So like I said, this is a basic shape. You use this shape a lot in several of the different little designs that you can make, the animals or the different flowers and stuff. So like I said, this is the very basic. You need to get through it first. You know, you could do that and leave it that way and make a stem with just a plain piece. You could lay it flat, you can stand it up, you can make, you know, little petals out of it. Can't really see that because it's white on white, but there is a little loop there. Anyways, I think I'm going to actually need a couple more if I'm going to do a flower all the way around. So we do a couple more real quick. You can also change them around and have the point to the outside if you don't want the round part. You don't want the round part toward the outside. You can have the point of the flower pointing out, which makes a different type of flower. But yeah, you can do either one. It's whatever your liking is. And from here, you know, you can make animals, you can make all sorts of stuff. I mean, if you just get on Pinterest and just look at all the different things that people quill, it's crazy. And, you know, some of the things that I have done in the past is I will get a picture, find a picture on Pinterest that, you know, has different colored shapes in it and stuff, and it's like you can just see each individual little shape, and it's like, you know what, that would be really cool to try to quill. And when you do that, it's almost like having a template. So if you print that out, you can actually mimic each one of the different patterns with your quilling style. So some of them may be a circle, some may be a diamond. The diamond, you just pinch both corners instead of the one that you do for the flower, like that. You would actually pinch both. So there's a whole lot of different things you can do, and you know, you can get very intricate with it, or you can just stay very basic. But it is totally up to you on how involved you want to get with it. If you want to just make flowers and make nothing else, then that is um, totally fine. I mean, it's whatever, however much you want to invest. It's like with anything else with crafting. However much you invest is what you're going to get out of it. So, and then to go in with the last piece, and it's like putting the last piece of the puzzle in. Just want to make sure everything's good and tight. And then you have your pretty little flower. And I'm going to make a couple leaves. And normally, leaves aren't as big as your petals. At least not on my flowers. So I'm just going to take a piece of the quilling paper. And I'm going to fold it in half. And then I'm just going to break it. Now the side that I break is going to be the side that I start rolling on, because I want to hide where I tore that paper. Now you can cut it if you would rather. That's not a problem. And like I said, sometimes that little slot gets really hard to see sometimes. And then of course you try to pull it to the end and you pull it too far and then it pops off. So, now on this, I'm not going to let this one unroll near as much. I'm just going to let it barely unroll because I want to keep it small. So we do the exact same thing that we did with all the leaves. And we're going to pinch it. Okay? So when we put this in, now I'm going to pinch the other side just a little bit because I want to make it more of an oval. I don't want to make it the flower shape. I want to change it up just a little bit. So you pinch one side down and then you just pinch the other side. And then I want the pointiest side to be out, since I had the pointy side in on the other one. So I'm going to go right here and just add this. And that just adds a cute little leaf element to your little quilling flower. So we'll add another one. And there are so many different things that you can do quilling. And it really is fun. Sometimes it does get very frustrating, but so does a lot of other things. But if you try it, I think you'll enjoy it, especially if you like dealing with things, fiddling with them. This stuff can get time consuming. Okay, so I've got my little roll again. I'm going to squeeze it really tight on one end, and then I'm just going to kind of squeeze it a little bit on the other end just to give me that more oval shape. And then this time I'm going to go in with the pointy end to the inside because I want to put this right there and kind of make that. Then I could come in with that and make a cute little stem. Now, of course, those won't stand up, but you can glue them onto a card or something. You can have several of them. You can even take the other piece you had and glue it behind that piece, and then just take another piece of paper, get your quill started, and then just roll it up. I said every now and then just make sure it's not getting too wonky. Okay. And on this one, maybe the flower hasn't opened yet. So we can go in with just a little bud. You could go in and make a much smaller flower. And sometimes you can even go in and you can add some dimension. And I'm just going to roll a little bit. I'm going to let it go. And then I'm going to roll in the other side the exact same way. Now, if you're going to shred your own paper, you want to use kind of a medium paper. You don't want to use the really, really thin paper, but you don't want to use the real thick paper either. The real thick paper will kind of tear on you sometimes. It'll start peeling where it's just so thick and you're trying to get this in there, the quilling needle in there. So I've kind of rolled two sides and just folded it in a different place. So one's long and one's short. So you can add some dimension to it and just glue that on there. So there's so much you can do, and you can do so many shapes and so many different things. I know I keep saying that, and I'm not showing you a lot, but this is just kind of a basic little tutorial to kind of show you what, whoops, see, I didn't, on that one, I did, see what I did? I didn't back it up a little bit to loosen it off of my quilling needle, that they call it, and it kind of stuck, and then when I went to pull it up, it just didn't want to let go. So I just kind of backed it up and redid it. It is a little wonky, so you may need to bend it the other way just a little bit. But you can even take it and start it in the middle here. Like I said, you just got to twist it till you find that notch. So say I want to do something right here. I can take that paper and I can fold it over and then try to keep my paper still pointing down, and I can roll it in a little bit and then back it up, pull it out. And let's go in on this side and roll, whoops, my paper kind of divided on me there. Oh, and then I pulled it off the wrong end. Right, I'm going to roll that part down. And I'm going to add just a touch of glue in between these because I do want them to kind of stick together a little bit. I don't want them to be going all over the place. I'm just adding a little bit of glue in between each one of the little curly cues that I made. And then let's say you don't want to have just a circle there. Maybe you want to have something that's got several blooms on it. You can actually just make a different shape. And you got to be careful because you will get glue all over you doing this. Have a little bit of a different shape on that. And it looks like a different kind of bloom. Now that's really hard to see. And maybe it's just on my small little surface screen that I've got. But you can see how you can make some really nice detailed flowers just out of basically quilling some paper. You just roll it up. So, you know, and this paper shred here is perfect. It's the perfect length. You can pay, you know, next to nothing for some of the cheaper quilling paper, which I'm going to be honest with you, it's really not. the idea really stuff to really use, because you do want a little bit of ply to your paper, and see how you can kind of curl it. That makes it even better for quilling, because you know it's going to roll without bending and tearing and messing your paper up, you know. So do a test on it. See if it'll roll in a little bit and hold its shape, and that's the best way to check to see if that's going to be a good thickness for quilling. Because you want paper that's going to hold it. You know, you can also straighten this back out. Well, I say that and then it curls up on me. So, but anyways, this is Quilling 101. My sister-in-law, Melissa Simcox, and I both do quilling. We have been talking about doing a live quilling session one day. Not sure when that will be, but you know, if this is something you're interested in, please keep an eye on our channel, our channels. She is By Me with Love, and of course my channel is Valley Girl Crafting. Keep an eye on it. We will be doing some different things, especially now that we're both kind of finished up with a collab that we've both been a part of. So I'm supposed to actually craft with her this coming weekend, so who knows what we'll get into and what kind of video we might be doing. But anyways, there you go, Crafting 101. So please make sure that you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the bell, so that way you'll get notifications the next time I post a video. And until next time, sending crafty hugs your way. Thank you very much for stopping by my channel, and hopefully we will see you again soon. Bye now.